This video is not like my regular video, so if you don't find yourself interested in this topic, no hard feelings, go ahead and skip on through. If you ever find yourself in the need of actually having to update your computer, stay here and watch this video. Yeah.
So, I have a situation here. I recently updated my MacBook Pro from, from Yosemite to Mac Sierra. And pretty much updating it to Mac Sierra. I did it already with the family computer. And with the family computer, there was some slowness issues to it, which I went ahead and, did some Googling. I saw that there's a lot of stuff happening in the background. And those were all things that took up space, that took up time, and you just sort of had to let that run its course. There were some things that you could exit out of, but not everything. Pretty much, long story short, the family computer was okay. My computer specifically, however, though, after I updated, kept running very slow. And I have a mid-2012 MacBook Pro. It is a Apple MacBook Pro 15-inch glossy screen, 2.3 gigahertz quad-core i7 mid-2012, supporting RAM of 4 gigabytes, DDR3 1600 megahertz. So those are pretty much my specs. After updating, I had a lot of issues. I saw that I didn't have much space on my Mac, so I went ahead and deleted a bunch of stuff. I saw that there was actually an old Final Cut Pro file from like 2016. That was before I had like really good editing etiquette, and pretty much I saved stuff on my laptop, which is never a good idea. You should always save it onto an external hard drive, especially if you're doing video for the work, because that takes up a lot of space on your laptop. And you just want to make sure that you have more available space on your laptop and have all those files, all those sources on an external hard drive. I pretty much transferred that guy over to an external hard drive, deleted it from my MacBook Pro, and then had over 300 gigabytes worth of free space on my Mac. Even in that case, it was still running very slow. So now it being 2018, my MacBook's at about 5-6 years of age, and I went back on Google because I was just like, this is running way too slow. I was trying to bounce between Photoshop and Google Chrome just last night, and my computer was running the slowest I've ever seen it before. That's obviously major cause for concern. So went back on Google and I saw that a lot of the symptoms that I had pretty much resonated, being issues of updating to Sierra, were actually symptoms and issues that were related to a failing hard drive. So immediately I sort of jumped into emergency mode because I need my Mac, and I quickly did a time machine. It took a while, but I stayed up all night doing a time machine. I went to bed at about 4:30 in the morning, got the time machine finished, so it's completely saved on this hard drive right here. This is a WD My Passport for Mac right there. So I have Time Machine backed up right here, a very, very recent copy. That's all good, that's all handy dandy. And then I just looked into basic upgrading opportunities for the mid-2012 MacBook Pro, of which I saw that you could update to the Samsung, I got the price on there still. Oops. The Samsung 860 EVO SSD drive. So SSD drives, by the way, I'm fairly novice at this, maybe a little bit better than novice, maybe intermediate, but I did a lot of Googling, 3 hours worth, because that's how long it took for me to get my backup. And SSD drive pretty much is supposed to be faster than the hard drive, because a hard drive has a spinning disk and an SSD drive does not have any moving parts. So because there's no moving parts, it loads and boots up a lot quicker. I read a lot of good things about that, so SSD drive, Samsung. So I'll be pretty much installing this guy into my MacBook Pro and then backing it up, restoring through recovery through my time machine, and then hopefully everything should be good after that. I also figured I might as well update the RAM since I'm doing this whole process anyways, and I wouldn't be in there in the guts of my computer. I might as well update the RAM. These are this is a 16 gigabyte kit, so it comes with 2 8 gigabyte modules. Will then boost my RAM up from 4 gigabytes, which is what I got my laptop on, to 16 gigabytes. And this is my emergency process to save my Mac, pretty much. And then of course I got some like precision screwdrivers because I don't have these, and I probably should, especially because this is probably going to be a thing for the rest of my life. So we're officially beginning And I wanted to share this video because there were a lot of videos out there that helped me, but I just want to show as much of the process as possible because I know that definitely helped me, and I want to make sure that anybody else who has this issue, just anyone who needs their Mac has this info as well. I want to be contributing to that community. So, serious mode time. Let's do this. That laptop in the back is my Windows. That is what I'm going to be using to reference the process here and there. So, I got the Mac as my case. Here it is. There's that, and then on the back. Okay, so pretty much on the back of the Mac, you have a bunch of screws right here. Got about 4 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, and then 1 in the middle right here. I've been told that you want to make sure you keep these all in the right spot so you don't get them mixed up. So I got an old box here that has a little compartments divided up. I'm gonna be taking the screws out from there and putting them into that box to keep them as organized as possible. I'm trying to be very cautious with this. Okay, so I actually had to go back to Micro Center because these guys are used for the inside of the Mac and these guys are used for the outside of the Mac. That I did not know. So we're gonna go ahead and get this guy set up. Okay, there it is. So we're gonna do the rest of these screws on the back of the MacBook Pro. Before I actually open this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Samsung SSD drive. And once again, I do have the backup time machine on this guy right here. There we go. That is the actual Samsung solid state drive. Very light. I'm like so nervous, but at the same time, I'm just trying to get this done. I'm also gonna go ahead and open the RAM just to have that available for when it's time to put it in. Gonna leave in the tray right there. Okay. Here's the back of my Mac. Okay. So then, right here is where you want to use these guys. I'm gonna show you a close up. Look right there. I don't know if you can see it that well, but they're 5-point instead of just being a Phillips. So that's where we'll use those guys. The bracket right there is just a Phillips also. So you can actually use your Phillips for the bracket. Then we want to take the power off, is what I've been told. So you want to go ahead and remove the power cable. I just double checked that, but you want to remove the power cable or the where the battery's plugged in. Boom. Just want to wiggle it off, and then you should be good to actually continue working on this. This is your battery right here. So wiggle it off. Okay, and then you want to remove this bracket right here. There's the bracket. I'm just gonna leave it leveled exactly how I grabbed it. Right here, off screen, but well, a little bit right there. Then we wanna pull this guy out. And right here is where you have the power supply. And you just want to wiggle it out, as I've been told. And there's the hard drive of your MacBook Pro. which would then be swapped out with the SSD drive. A little heavier, but actually no, we're not done with this guy, because what you're gonna need is these screws right there. You're gonna need for this guy. So you're just gonna mount them right there on each side. And that's how it fits back in. So we're gonna take that out. Let's take it out as such. I love how people just jump to it already out. Okay, so that took me a little bit of effort, but pretty much I got the pins out of the regular hard drive. You can see they're empty right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and put them into the SSD drive. Like such. Okay. It really doesn't help having big fingers. All right, almost there. All right, and last one. Okay. Now, as you can see, all the pins are in. The SSD drive. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm actually going to take the plastic tab here, and I'm going to repurpose it. I don't know if you should do that, but this is the only one I have, so just put it right there. And that's just so that in the future, when we have to take this guy out, poop on the tab. Gently put this guy back in, just wiggle it in. And then for this guy specifically, you want to make sure you do these pins first to kind of go in. You could tell when you see the hole, they go in first, and then these guys just follow right there. And that's just it. Nice and snug right there. Get that bracket once again. Getting over a cold, so I'm sorry if I sound nasally. Okay, a lot better. And now the bracket's in, and that holds the drive. Boom. And as far as the actual solid state drive and replacing it, we're done. Now we're gonna move on over to the RAM. And the RAM, you can see there's like 2 knobs right here. Knobs, like things. You pretty much want to pull them back, and that will open it. We'll do it with one hand. There we go. Now they're released. Take out our RAM, and we just want to gently pull this guy out. I wonder if it matters what side it's on. Yeah, it looks like it does. Okay. I'm just gonna line these guys up exactly how these guys came out. Again, line it up exactly how this guy came out. Okay. That's that. Now we're gonna go ahead and close everything up. Don't forget the power. Just want to plug the power back in. And now we'll grab our top. Yeah. Place back over the MacBook Pro. Get those screws. I'm gonna do the longest ones first because those are the most notable to me. And once your computer is all set and your back is completely on, take it. You want to boot it up with Time Machine. So I'm gonna move this camera now so that you can actually see the screen and how it looks. Okay, so here we have the Mac. I'm gonna take the hard drive, the Time Machine, plug it in, the USB port, boot up, and then hold the Option key. Okay, so first you actually want to go to Disk Utility, and you want to format the 1 terabyte SSD drive in order to prepare it for the Time Machine backup. Continue. So I have November 12th, which was literally yesterday when I freaked out and immediately backed it up. So thank goodness that I did that, because the next one would be October, and then after that, September 1st, 2017. Let me continue. Select the disk where you want to restore your system. If you want to use an external disk, you can connect it now. So we're gonna go ahead and click MacBook Pro SSD. As you can see, we have 999 gigabytes versus the 500 gigabytes that I originally had. Restore, erase, and there you go. Now it's gonna restore, and that might take, it says time remaining, calculating, or pretty much it'll go ahead and restore. It'll take about, for me, I had about 300 gigabytes left on my 500 gigabyte hard drive, that being this old guy. So this one was 500 gigabytes, and I had about 300 something left on it. So I used maybe like 160, 200, somewhere around that range. This is my first time doing this, so I don't know how long this will take for me, but I've seen in other videos that it takes about an hour or so. So when it goes ahead and gets restored, I'll go ahead and boot it up, and we should be good. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut to that process right now. All right, guys, welcome back. Pretty much my MacBook is now completely restored with Time Machine. I forgot to record that last part. Pretty much you restore it with Time Machine, and then you go ahead and you just set it up. And it restarts itself once the process is completely done. So for me, it took about 2 hours and 30 minutes. It may take longer for you, it may take less for you. That was with about 180 gigabytes worth of space in use on my Mac. That being from this guy, being backed up on this guy, and then put onto this guy. And it's so fast. And I have not had this speed for my Mac in a very, very long time. So this is really big for me, really huge for me. It's gonna help me so much with editing, just in general use. I'll show you this boot time, and I want you guys to keep in mind that this boot time did used to take me about 1 to 2 minutes, and that is not a joke. I would turn my laptop on, within 1 to 2 minutes it would boot up. It would take a very long time, and I want you to see how quickly it boots up now. So we're gonna press the power button. There's the Apple logo. It's loading up. I should like count or something, but I'm not gonna count. Boom, booted up. That was about 30 seconds max, maybe even a little bit less. And again, I can't tell you how huge that is for me, coming from a 1 to 2 minute boot up time to 20 to 30 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and log in. And we're up. Specifically, I want to show you, this is the hard drive I use for, and this is just sort of general stuff, but just to show you the actual practicality of this. I edit videos, I edit photos a lot, so I want to show you just how quickly Final Cut Pro boots up. I gotta plug this guy in though, because I have a lot, my libraries and my clips are all saved on that 4 terabyte drive right there. I'll see it pop up right here. That in itself is fast. Again, just overall quicker speed right here. So you see we got the backup drive right here. I'm gonna click on Final Cut Pro, and with Final Cut Pro specifically, it used to take same amount of time, maybe 2 to 3. On the worst days, Final Cut Pro even took about 5 minutes to boot up. So click on it. Boom, text box, and it's open. That was about 10-15 seconds. Like, it's amazing. I can't wait to edit. Can't wait to use this and actually utilize it. I was very nervous earlier. I was very concerned. My hard drive was at the end of its day, but I caught it in enough time. I had that time machine backup, and I was able to restore with the new drive, with the new RAM, and we are good to go now. I want to show you real quick. If you click over here real fast, you'll see about this Mac, and you can see the updated specs right here. Again, we're running Mac OS High Sierra. Same thing, MacBook Pro 15-inch mid-2012 processor. It's all the same, but the memory right here, that is the RAM upgrade that we have. So we went from 4 gigabytes to now 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. And then if you click over here, click on the Macintosh HD, get info, and you can see our capacity. What was originally 500 gigabytes is now 999.35 gigabytes. That's a terabyte. Oh, right here, your memory, 16 gigabytes installed, one 8 gigabyte module, another 8 gigabyte module. And then if you click on the storage, 1 terabyte solid straight SATA drive. And there you go. Crisis averted. And new awesome upgrade implemented. So thank you guys for watching this video and going on this little bit of a journey with me. And I'm happy that this all worked out. Thanks. Bye. I'm not gonna put this back on because, well, this is gonna be really quick. But pretty much, this isn't like a usual regular video that I make, and obviously you guys know that. But this was a situation that might even have focus. There we go. This was a situation that just occurred, it happened, and rolled with the punches, and I decided to film the whole thing because that's what helped me when I needed to see what I was gonna do with this and whether or not this was even a possibility. Just want to say thank you to everybody who ever like uploads videos about this stuff. I'm actually gonna link some of the videos that helped me. They do a great job of explaining all the steps and walking you through it. Hopefully you don't do this because of emergency situation, and instead you do it because of like a preference. Mine was pretty much an emergency. It was also kind of a preference though, because this guy, it was getting there. It didn't crap out yet, but it was getting there. Make sure you have those time machine backups, and make sure you're always just ready to go and upgrading. So thank you once again. My name is Kwabena. I live in Chicago, the greatest city in the world, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.